Hi folks, on this episode of Hit Mahogany we're going to do a cocktail that should be part of your arsenal of cocktails. Something that's really simple. You've got people who really enjoy whiskies but they're looking for something a little bit different. You know what? Here's what you can do with it. You can offer them a whiskey sour. That's it. Just something nice and simple. Now you can see here, we've got a few range of whiskies. You know what? You've got whiskey, so sometimes you might hear this, you could have a Scotch Sour, you could use Japanese whiskey, you've got some Irish whiskey here, and of course bourbons are, bourbon is the big one that's used here in the US. You got rye here, and then of course, depending on what type of whiskey you're using, you've got, Irish, another Irish whiskey here, or, a blended whiskey as well. On this one, we're actually going to use a Scotch. Never call it Scotch actually, it just sounds weird actually saying that. Scotch, no, because when we talk about a whiskey we're usually talking about a particular brand. Glenfiddich here is the one that we're actually going to use. You can use anything that you want at all, just swap out the base. Now this is one of these ones where people are going to cringe and sort of go, Jesus Christ, you're going to put the Glenfiddich, you've got a 12-year-old reserve here, you're going to put that in there. Well, don't let anybody tell you what you can or can't do with your drinks. If you enjoy it, you drink it. But some people may think it's a little bit of a travesty, but I did the penicillin cocktail a few episodes ago, and you know what? That's a stunning one. Mixture of blended whiskey with a little bit of an Islay peated whiskey on top of it. It's just absolutely fantastic. All right, let's get on with our whiskey sour. Scotch Sour, whatever you actually want to call it. I'm going to make 2 of these, okay? First of all, we're going to need some whiskey. So we're going to use Glenfiddich. So since I'm making 2, it's 2 ounces for each drink. 1 drink, 2. And you may be asking, why am I actually making 2? Well, there's other people here that might want to taste it. Sometimes they like them. Sometimes they don't, so sometimes I have 1 and sometimes I have to drink 2. Alright, we've got the base in here. The sour, like any sours that are out there. What's the sour part? Lemon juice, okay? So it is going to be 1 ounce of lemon juice for each drink. So it's going to be 2 ounces in total. Squeezing this. I've never milked a cow, but it just kind of feels like that. It's like, I know that's just a weird thing to say, but it feels as though it's like an udder or something that you're using there. Alright, that's our sour. Now you do need to balance out the sour with a little bit of sweetness. So what you can use here is simple syrup. This is actually just a 1-to-1. Sometimes you like a 2-to-1, just really up to yourself. Taste this a little bit. You can balance this, you can adjust the sweetness as you like, but this is actually 1-to-1. It's half an ounce for each drink, so I'm actually going to put in 1 ounce. Remember, it is a sour. It's not a sweet, it's a sour. Oh, that was a bit cheesy, wasn't it? And it's not a cheesy one either. Alright, that's it. Now, what you can do is you can add egg white to this as well. As I've said before, you can use fresh eggs if you want. Pretty good chance of not getting salmonella. It's up to yourself what your comfort level is. Or you can get pasteurised egg whites. I've got pasteurised egg whites here. And it's half an ounce for each drink, so this is 1 ounce of pasteurised egg whites. Okay, so it's completely up to yourself. I put the egg white in. I just like the mouthfeel it actually gives. It just gives it an extra depth, sensation to the tongue. Always reminds me a little bit of like a sherbet texture when you've got the egg white in there. Now, if you're using egg white, shake it dry first of all. Dry. Yeah, there's liquid in here, but without ice to start with, okay? That way, you're going to start emulsifying all this, and you're going to start to build the foam with respect to the foam of the egg white, okay? So just give it a few shakes like this, first of all. And as you'll learn, and this happens every single time, which is why I've got this time, is when you put egg whites into anything, you're shaking it, it's foaming up like that, and it has a tendency to pop. I'll need to look into why, because it's not as though there's carbonation where it's actually releasing gases, but it just does tend to like to do that. Alright, you now need to chill it down. So, you need some ice. Now, if you didn't use egg whites, you'd go straight in and use the ice to start with, okay? Got enough in there. Good. Alright. Get this on securely. Make sure you've got something handy to wipe up the mess. It does get a little bit sticky. But let's give this a shake, okay? Make sure that's on. Yep. Done. Okay. Woo, chilled. 2 glasses. Whichever one you want to use. You want something that looks a little bit, classy. Let's maybe use a Cooper martini glass. Maybe somebody's a little bit more comfortable drinking out of a whiskey glass, a rocks glass, or something of that type. Doesn't matter. Put it into whatever you want. This one, I'm actually going to pour it over a large cube as well. It's going to keep it chilled for longer. Maybe somebody wants to sip it for longer without diluting too much. You've already got a bit of dilution from shaking it. Alright. Let's get this puppy poured. Okay. Here we go. Looks good already. Of course, it takes a little bit to get all the foam out of here, but there we go. Now, of course, there's always a little bit of bonus in the bottom there. You can keep that. I do generally anyway, okay? Alright, that's it. Leave it like that, or if you want, twist of lemon. Let's get that on the top here for this one. I'll sit like that. Just the way I use the cutter, and my lemon on that one has kind of broken. Doesn't matter. There we go. Whiskey sour, looking good, okay? Alright, so this was Glenfiddich. Let's give this one a taste. I'm going to be honest, I haven't tasted this like this before. Penicillin was great. This one I haven't, and I have had bourbon sours as well, but not a Scotch sour. It's great. What I like though actually about, so of course I like whiskey, Scotch whiskey, and I like bourbons, and I like anything actually, anything that I can drink. Really, really delicious. But the great thing is, this, because it's so simple, the base spirit is coming through. And you know that this is a Scotch. If it was a bourbon, it would taste completely different. But this, with it being the Glenfiddich in here, coming through nicely. Nice bit of warmth there. Just got that, I'm trying to put my finger on it. You know what's interesting, I don't know what this would be like, but with the Glenfiddich and the lemon juice, it's almost turned into almost like a honey flavour there. And not just because of the sweetness kind of balances out, but there's just a taste on the end that's almost like honey. It's like the lemon juice and the whiskey just pair together to give that flavour. That's bloody interesting actually. This is really good. I like this. It's the first one. It's not going to be the last one. Alright, I've waxed lyrical enough about that one. So, folks, enjoy your whiskey sours. Whatever your whiskey is that you want, you like, do it, enjoy it. Don't let anybody tell you any otherwise. Alright? Cheers.